Get one free Arby's sandwich every week in April, online only. It's never been easier to try Arby's, and for Arby's to say, "Welcome to Arby's." Arby's, we have the meats.
Tempur-Pedic designed the Ergo Pro Smart Base to help you fall asleep more easily. It's the only smart base that features our exclusive Soundscape mode that synchronizes a gentle massage with relaxing sounds to help you drift peacefully off to sleep.
Get a free $300 gift when you purchase any Tempur-Pedic. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
These are real people seeking solutions to real problems.
I have plantar fasciitis.
Pain with my feet, my knees.
Feet, knees, hips, and back.
And then they were fit with Good Feet arch supports.
I definitely feel the heel-to-toe walk.
I'm not feeling any pain, especially in my heel. That's where I always feel it.
I don't feel the knee pain.
I didn't notice any pain in my back.
I feel like I could walk all day in these.
Oh, you're a blessing in disguise.
Try them for yourself with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Chattanooga Mobility is a National Bruno Gold Award winner. We are Chattanooga's premier stairlift provider and cannot wait to help you stay in your home with an indoor, outdoor, or curved stairlift. Call us for your free in-home consultation. Chattanooga Mobility and Lifts. Let us lift you to independence.
For over 100 years, Goodwill has helped thousands of people transform their potential into opportunity through education, training, and employment. Our newest Goodwill store and Goodwill Opportunity Center is now open in Dalton. Visit goodwillchat.org for a list of locations.
Arby's, 2 for $6. Every day, it's classic chicken. So yeah, it's good. 2 of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meats.
Good morning. Hope you're off to a great start to your day. If you're looking forward to the warm days that are right around the corner, it's going to be perfect weather, but before you know it, those air conditioners are going to be cranking. So we're going to begin the show for you today with our good friend Jake Self with Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Air. Good to see you. Electrical, not heating and air.
You got it.
I said air because that's the topic today. I love this time of year because you kind of get a break on your electric bill.
Yep.
But then it's coming, man, around the corner. So you're saying get ready, people.
Yeah, we are in full-blown maintenance mode right now with all of our customers and anybody that's wanting to try to address anything that may or may not be happening with their heating and air system. Trying to wash the outdoor units and check all the electrical components before the demand is there.
So you brought 2 shiny pieces with you this morning, but they aren't always shiny?
Yes. So I brought 2 different things. These are brand new out of the box. So these repairs are very, very inexpensive when we're out there doing your maintenance. But when it becomes demand time in the summer, parts sometimes get a little harder to get a hold of. And you're going to call us out there for what we call a demand call versus a maintenance, and prices start going up.
Okay.
So this one in my left hand is what we call a capacitor. This is what helps start your system. These things just wear out, and they seem to wear out when the demand first starts. So we're going to hit 80 degrees for a couple of days next week. The first round of these weak capacitors will fail, and then we won't see them for a while until we hit 90s, and then you will see a whole bunch more fail.
Okay.
And then on my right side, this is a contactor. This is the on-off switch. And your thermostat says, I need air conditioning. This thing will pull in, and your air conditioner starts.
Okay.
This one, I feel that a lot more maintenance fails happen in these because bugs, we see snakes, we see field mice wanting to search for the warmth, and the electrical in this starts getting warm, and they go finding it. And everything in here starts corroding, and it just, the contact no longer works.
Okay, so on a traditional HVAC system, it's heating and air, correct?
Yep.
So if y'all have been out to someone's house for the heating maintenance part, is there a good chance that you've already seen these things, or is it a separate test?
We've already at least glanced at them and taken a preliminary test to see if there's any wear at it.
Okay.
What we like to see on these is plus or minus 10% of the rating that's written on here.
Okay.
And my guys have testers that they'll test that. And if there's an issue, they'll bring you this with their tester and just show you the numbers that are written right on here. And if the test is saying that it's plus or minus that 10%.
So I think that's pretty significant what you're saying, because transparency is big for y'all.
Yes.
At Hiller. So you really enjoy letting the customer see what you're finding.
Yeah, with us having digital gauges, all the guys have iPads and everything, we want as much customer interaction as possible, because there's been such a stigma of our industry. We go around the corner, we're looking at your system, and then all of a sudden we're going to give you this big long list and
that you can't understand.
Yeah. So come with us, come look at what we're looking at, and if you're not at the home, all my guys have cameras on their iPads, so they're taking pictures of before and after what they've seen, and they're sending that with the invoice and our checklist. So you have all the data in front of you to help you make the decision that's right for you and your family.
Okay, so back to, this is the thermostat control basically? Is that what that is?
Your thermostat sends a signal to this to tell the air conditioner to turn on.
If you have noticed in your house, probably all of us have had that experience where it's hot outside, it feels hotter in the house than what the thermostat is set to.
Right.
Is that because there's a problem with that? Or is that just because it's
problem
so
somewhere?
hot?
Problem somewhere.
Okay.
If your system, because your system again is designed for the square footage of your house and how you live, if your thermostat is set for 74 and it's not 74, there could be an issue.
So when you talk about the preventive things, if you call now for your housekeeping call, it's going to be a lower rate than it would be if it was a demand call.
Right.
Is it based on the season or the need at the house?
It's just based on our two different programs. With the Hiller Club membership and us being out there at a maintenance, we're giving you the 10% off, and we're there for a maintenance. When demand, you're
it's a one-off kind of. Okay, so that's what you're encouraging people to be a part of, is that Hiller Club. So remind us, Jake, of how that's set up, because your pricing, from what I remember, is pretty impressive.
So right now we're still honoring the half off of our club memberships. We have 3 different levels. A standard is usually just heating and cooling, or if you do already have a heating and cooling company, you can have a standard where our plumber and electrician will come out there once a year.
Okay.
And then we ramp up to the deluxe or our optimum, where you get all 3 trades. Our heating and cooling guys will go out there twice, one in fall, one in the spring, and then electrical will come out and plumbing will come out once.
Okay. Since you mentioned plumbing, and I've had lots of plumbing issues in my life of late, do most people think about the need to have preventive maintenance on plumbing, and what does that look like anyway?
It's not as popular because everybody knows that there is a need for continuing to check your heating and air system. I think it's continuing to grab more attention to everybody, because either your utility company is reaching out and you have high water usage, or your water heater is out, or we have a bursted pipe. So why not have someone come and look at every fixture in your house, taking pictures of every fixture in your house and crawling underneath and checking the condition of the pipes that may be there.
And that's what it looks like?
Yes.
You were talking to me before we went on the air about hard water. Is that a problem around here for a lot of people?
Yes. Yeah. There's certain areas, like we talked about north of Chattanooga, they're a little bit worse, but there's always a need of something to help your water system run more efficiently.
You mentioned the warmer days around the corner. So is it a good idea for people, obviously, to contact you to be part of that Hiller Club as soon as possible, but maybe think about turning on the air and test it to make sure it is working the way you're setting it?
And you could be fooled, again, because it's cooler right now, and you turn it on and you go over to your register and I feel cooler, I think I'm good. But when we test anything, we're running it for a minimum of 10 minutes, so we can start looking at temperature splits.
Okay. Well, here's where you find them. You see their vans all over town that says Happy Hiller, because they want you to be. HappyHiller.com is the website. 481-9180 is the phone number to call. Think about having them come out to do that maintenance on your home. And the great thing, too, knowledge is power.
Yes.
Now you know what you're dealing with. Thank you.
Thank you.
This year's St. Jude Dream Home is 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and could be all yours. But you need to get your ticket now before we sell out again. So call, go online, or scan the QR code now to get your ticket before they're gone.
You're gonna have to fix this. Not me.
You want to settle this the old-fashioned way?
Sure.
Fine.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Relax. We'll fix it.
This month, smile and save up to $1,500 off select HVAC systems, generators, and water filtration systems.
Thank you so much. I win.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Hal, Budget Brakes will replace your brakes for the lowest price anywhere, and you get a lifetime guarantee. Relax.
Budget Brakes. Brakes starting at just $100.
Relaxing. As life moves forward, we realize that excitement isn't just for the young, and that it's never too late to learn a new trick or two. And that it's okay if life gets a little easier. We understand life may look a little different, yet we believe there are friendships and memories still to be made. So, to those who say the best days are behind us, we beg to differ.
As seasons change, we'll be here. Call today to see why Hickory Valley is a place to call home.
Combine a Bojangles Chicken Supreme with a toasted bun that's great on the go, and you get Bo's Bird Dog. Grab 2 for $5 for a limited time only. It's Bo time.
Injured? Call Morgan & Morgan. For the people.
It only takes one time to lose your life.
Some homeowners are doing more to stay safe in severe weather with a personal storm shelter. See what it costs and how it can protect your family. Tonight at 4 and 6, only on Local 3 News.
Local 3 School Patrol, covering the classrooms in your community.
Okay, I want to kind of let you know before we begin our next conversation, it's a bit of an adult topic, so if you have children in the room, maybe even some middle schoolers or something, you might want to just be aware that our topic this morning, Dr. Steve Miller with the Hamilton County Health Department, is a real concern for really everybody watching. Am I right, Dr. Miller? Because
you are
you're
correct.
seeing a rise of STIs.
We are.
Nationwide.
Nationwide.
And here in Chattanooga too.
What affects our nation is affecting our county as well. We're seeing a tremendous rise in sexually transmitted infections. And that's why it's the month for that. It's Awareness Month for that.
So let me pause a second, because I think that this would be fair to say. There are probably a lot of people watching right now who are thinking, that doesn't apply to me because I'm married or I'm this or I'm that. But the truth is, if you have somebody, anybody you know, who isn't walking your path, it could happen to them.
Sure, and we've seen latent infections in people that have been married for 10 years, 20 years, from a partner that may have been with 20 or 30 years prior. It's important that people get out and get tested for this. The rise in syphilis alone has increased to the point where what we see in a week is what we used to see in 3 or 4 months 10 years ago.
So you just said, I think I heard you say, that you could have had a partner 20 years ago and only now would symptoms show up? Is that what you're saying?
We see cases of that on a weekly basis. That's
really?
correct.
Is that how it's always been? Or is that something new?
No, I've seen that for years, but unfortunately we're just seeing it much more frequently now.
The concern too, I guess where my mind was going when you were talking about the widespread concern of this, is that you're seeing then babies born.
So with understandably the rise of the sexually transmitted infections, especially syphilis, we're seeing a number of children being born with this. A child that is infected in utero with syphilis has about a 50% mortality rate. If the child is born, the chances of them having different kinds of congenital abnormalities is tremendous, and that can be hearing, vision loss, developmental delays, the list goes on.
So with testing, both men and women should come in to get tested, is that correct?
That is correct. And one thing to be aware is that we're seeing these in our younger ages, our 15 to 24-year-olds. So we need not only just people that are in their 30s and 40s, maybe they're engaging in a new relationship or a new marriage or something of that nature, but also the younger individuals need to not feel that these PrEP therapies that they hear about or they partake in are sufficient enough. They need to be tested on a regular basis. If you are not in a monogamous relationship, we recommend multiple testing a year.
But even if you are in a monogamous relationship, you don't have any way of knowing that's your partner.
It's good to get a baseline test for not only you, but your partner. As you embark on a new relationship together, it needs to be done in a safe manner.
Is there, you mentioned the 15 to 24-year-olds, that whole, the nature of being that age anyway, is that you think that your life isn't going to touch you. And then nowadays with social media and Google right there, they can look up anything. So they have do they have a false idea?
It's a false sense of security. You think you're invulnerable, but then as you get older, you realize you certainly are not. And the mistakes we make when we're young will follow us.
Is it curable or is it only treatable?
Many infections are curable, most are controllable, but we can't do anything with it if you don't know that you have it. So get tested.
You mentioned the mortality rate in a baby born with it. If you are an adult, essentially, with syphilis, for example, does that impact your own lifespan?
It can. Not only do you get the initial sore and then the subsequent rash, but then after that, a disease like syphilis will lay dormant for decades. And then when it finally does come to the surface and you're experiencing neurological problems, Alzheimer's type symptoms, it's too late at that point. It's done its damage.
I know that I'm going to step my toe into waters that are tricky, so you can just slap my hand if you want to, but is it a fine line we walk between wanting people to be able to get the help they need versus kind of having it be an anything goes, let's don't put any stigma on anything mentality? Do you see where I'm trying to go?
I do. We enjoy our personal freedoms, but at the same time we have to exercise caution in the actions that we do and what we engage in. And we need to be mindful not just of ourselves, but of who we affect by our actions as well. So, not only have respect for yourself, but also the partners that you're with. Get tested frequently if necessary, because it's vitally importantly, not only to you, but to the community around you.
Okay, in terms of the testing, how do they go about getting it? Can they just show up? Do they make an appointment?
We have several walk-in appointments a day at all of our health department locations, but we prefer that you call for an appointment as well.
If you are a minor, is there a different way of getting that appointment? Do you have to have a parental consent?
No, not for treatment, not for testing and treatment of that. No,
okay, is there a fee associated with it?
Sometimes there can be a nominal fee, especially if you're out of state, but that fee can be waived as well.
And then if people are concerned about, if they might say, well, I can't afford certain things to try to prevent and be safe, you provide
in most
that?
cases, we provide the treatment on site. And if it is something that's more in depth, we'll say like HIV, we'll refer you to community partners that will be able to get you that affordable treatment as well.
And as in all things medical, it's private.
Every bit of this is private, of course. We guard all information. We don't discuss the cases with other family members, with loved ones, or anything of that nature, no. Very discreet.
I'm very glad that you came and shared. I had no idea the month was dedicated to it, but to realize that this is a problem across the country and that we're seeing it right here in our area, to have this resource available and not take advantage of it. You don't want to let that happen to you.
No, you do not.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
Miller.
Thank you for having me.
You can find out much more about how they can help you with this testing as well as any other health-related issue in your life at health.hamiltontn.org. Their phone number, if you do want to call to make that appointment, 209-8250.
Hello, I'm Chris Keith from Wedemark Keith. After a car wreck, things can get really tough. Let us help make that easier. We're more than lawyers. We're your support, guiding you through a potential nightmare. For us, it's more than a case, it's personal.
Hi, this is Christy and Jen from Mango's Decor.
We'd like to invite you to our two Mango's locations, Chattanooga and Knoxville.
Mango's is a local home decor store. Let us help you customize with our American-made sofa and chairs. We also carry lighting and accessories.
Our in-house design team can help you furnish the home of your dreams with an in-store consultation, or we can come out to your home. Mango's, quality furniture at a great price.
Stop by and see us in Chattanooga
and Knoxville.
When it's time to update your home, let Chattanooga Paint and Decorating be your guide. Our professional decorators can offer tips, help choose colors, and get you started with all the right materials to create a space you and your family will love. Stop in today for a free color consultation. Chattanooga Paint and Decorating. We are more than just a paint store. We are your Benjamin Moore professionals. Come see your local experts at our Hickson location on Hickson Pike, our Ottawa location on Little Debbie Parkway, or visit us online at ChattanoogaPaint.com.
Since 1979, we have proudly been serving the Chattanooga community.
With your support, we have grown beyond our wildest dreams.
A one-on-one journey to optimize your health.
Let us partner with you
on your wellness journey.
When a big truck or commercial vehicle causes a wreck, your life can be turned upside down in an instant. Don't let their negligence go unanswered. Call Whitwell Keith today. It's more to us. It's personal.
If you are considering a move from the home you're currently living in to more of a senior living community and you're not quite sure which one would be right for you, just mark your calendar for mid-April and go to Hickory Valley Retirement Community and see Blaze Betts and her wonderful team as they have an open house to maybe answer a few questions and perhaps welcome you home. So good to see you.
Good to see you, Julie. Thanks for having me.
April 17th, is that
April
the date?
17th from 2 to 4 p.m. We're going to be doing a 50s sock hop theme, so wear your best poodle skirt or leather jacket. It's going to be a great time.
It'll be a beautiful time too because your grounds are so pretty and everything will be in full bloom for people.
That's right. The flowers are blooming and the gardening club has started up, so the residents are excited and hopefully we'll have a good turnout from the general public.
So, you know, probably Blaze, a lot of people will come and they won't quite be comfortable just yet wearing their poodle skirt because they're going to feel like they're the guest that day. But they will be greeted with a big smile and made to feel comfortable to take it in as they wish. Is that right?
Of course they will, and the open house is really a time, no pressure, just to come to the community, meet the staff, meet the residents, view a couple floor plans. We're going to be having live music and snacks, so just a great time to come out to the community with no pressure.
You know, something I've never asked you when we've had these conversations is about the staff. When you said meeting the staff, that's really important because that's sometimes if you have a question and you live there, you're going to go to somebody on the staff.
Absolutely. It's good to meet them. We have a lot of staff tenure. Our general manager, Katie, has been with us for 7 years. Our maintenance team has been with us for over 20 years. So it's good to meet the staff and make sure you're comfortable.
With the maintenance team, what that means is you're there, you have your apartment, life is coming along great, and then maybe you have a little bit of an issue. So the maintenance team is right there on site?
On site 5 days a week. They come in, of course, for emergencies. If you have a leaky faucet or anything, they respond to that immediately. So there's only 2 of them. We have a pretty big building, so
yeah.
I don't know how they keep it all straight.
But they probably become a real source of comfort and friendship for the residents there.
They do. Our maintenance director has now been with us for about 24 years, and our maintenance assistant, I believe, 18 years. So everyone on the staff really does a great job of developing relationships with the residents. We have about 130 residents, so everyone's on a first name basis, and we really get to know each other.
And when you take the tour at the open house, really pay close attention because you've got it set up where there is a layout, if you will, for everybody because you have 2 bedrooms and studios.
We have actually 7 different floor plans to choose from, so we kind of have something for everybody, so it's a great time to come out and see as many floor plans as you'd like.
I don't know how you can even fit that in. The few times I've been out there, when I think of Hickory Valley, the few things I think of that come to my mind right away is that to me it feels like it's part of a neighborhood. Like the street that it's on, you don't feel like you're in the midst of a busy main thoroughfare.
That's right. We're off of Lee Highway on Ballard Drive, so we're kind of tucked away. It's a very quiet road, and everyone says when they walk in the front doors it feels like home. So moving from your house of 30 years, it can be quite an adjustment. So we try to make that process as smooth as possible.
It is very open. It's just open, and there are a lot of windows there, and your hallways are wide, at least the ones I've seen. I don't know why that's significant to me, but you don't feel squished.
That's right. It's very inclusive. You know, we have residents on walkers and some with wheelchairs, so the wide hallways make getting around that much easier.
Lots of different places to comfortably go sit and read a book or talk to a friend, always with a view.
Always, and the natural light is so nice. We have our crocheting and knitting club that likes to meet in the breezeway. We have puzzles, we have lots of readers, so no one will ever be bored at Hickory Valley.
So when they come to the open house, it is just that 2-hour window.
Yes.
Do you think that most people will come and just kind of get a taste of it, enjoy a little bit of food, and then from there perhaps make an appointment to come back and talk to you more in depth. Is that the idea?
Absolutely. We're also going to have vendors, we'll have realtors, some home health services, so just a lot of resources even if you're not quite ready to make a move.
I can't believe you're doing this because you're just on the tail end of having had a recent event where you were talking about veterans benefits, right?
Absolutely. We had a really good lunch and learn with Kaya Groves from Senior Helpers. It was a great turnout. Not everyone is aware of all of the benefits, so we try to be as transparent as possible when it comes to those.
So I kind of threw that out there because there could be some people who are watching thinking, yeah, that really is where I am in my life, but I just couldn't possibly afford it. You really work with people to try to see what they might have available in terms of resources.
There's so many resources available, it's just getting those to you.
You also don't have to sign for any kind of a long-term commitment, right?
No, you don't. It's a month-to-month lease. We always say it takes about 60 days to get acclimated. Most residents really are very happy. If they're not, you just give 30 days notice, so it's not a buy-in of any sort.
Is it, I won't say frequent, but is it fairly common to see residents who are there and their grandchildren have come to visit? It feels kind of multi-generational.
It is. We just had a gentleman move in. His parents lived there about 25 years ago, so our maintenance director remembered his parents and said he looks just like his dad, so it's funny how that works out.
And you know, to that end, if you're sitting here looking at Blaze thinking, how does she know so much about this industry when she's so young? Your parents managed a community like this, so you've grown up in this world.
I was 3 years old living in a retirement community myself.
So you've loved it.
I love it.
Does that mean then for you, Blaze, that's the relationship with everybody, that's the key?
It is, absolutely. Residents have all types of stories and we have our daily talks, so I really enjoy it.
Are you asking people to sign up for this open house or just pop by?
Just pop by, no sign up required.
Okay, and no poodle skirt required either, but it's a great excuse to pull it out of your trunk if you still have yours from all those years ago. So it's the open house, April 17th. From 2 until 4.
Yes.
They're going to feed you a little. You'll have some vendors you can shop and talk to, and then get that tour and see if it feels just like home for you when you walk through the doors too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Come be a part of our family tree at Martin Boyd Christian Home, a nonprofit assisted living community. A family makes a house a home, and we value your family like our own. With all-inclusive rates and an experienced care team, you'll feel right at home. Call today to schedule a tour.
Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years, and now we're going to the sea! Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection, and a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Right now, pet dander, skin cells, mold spores, pollen, and dirt are being sucked into your air ducts. Get cleaner air and system efficiency now with Stanley Steamer. For over 75 years, we've continually engineered our equipment and processes to deep clean your entire home. Your air ducts aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
Some people just know that the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Because there's a right way to... Stop! And the speed limit definitely isn't...
700 million miles per hour.
So why would you pay a rate based on...
A terrible boss with a terrible haircut!
Save with DriveWise and get a rate based on you. Call or visit allstate.com for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
All of a sudden, his SUV was in my trunk, and I was off to the hospital. Warren and Griffin got me $750,000. 5 stars.
I'm C-Mark.
I'm John Mark.
Call us at 265-HURT.
That's 265-4878. We are your local law firm.
Come be a part of our family tree at Martin Boyd Christian Home, a nonprofit assisted living community. A family makes a house a home, and we value your family like our own. With all-inclusive rates and an experienced care team, you'll feel right at home. Call today to schedule a tour.
Okay, we're going to talk community and how community takes care of its own. We celebrate that all of the time here on the show, whether it's happening in Catoosa County, Hamilton County, Chattanooga proper. This morning, though, we are going to head up to Whitwell, Tennessee. And no matter what part of the viewing area you live in currently, you are going to want to be supportive of their efforts in Whitwell, Tennessee, because what they have going on up there truly has national and worldwide reach. So Linda Hooper reached out to me about, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I knew right away this was an email I wanted to respond to. So here she sits. She says that I ought to reference her as Linda Hooper, cat herder.
That's me.
So I'm going to follow my order. Next to her is Jenny Green, who is part of the board, because what they're doing up there in Whitwell, Linda Hooper, cat herder, is you are wanting to create, with a great fundraising effort, a center, a heritage center that will incorporate lots of different looks. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We will have the public library, Veterans Center, senior citizens, our Holocaust Artifacts Library, and our Miners Museum, all on one place, so our kids can be proud of their heritage. Whitwell is not a well-to-do town, okay? We are a former mining community, and there's not a lot of money there. And our kids need to understand our heritage and be proud of our heritage, because we have a very, I think, a very strong heritage.
I don't want to spend all of our time talking about the past, but there are a lot of people who are newcomers to our area who might not know part of Whitwell's past.
Right.
So I'm going to quickly set up the tale, and then you can carry it.
Okay.
Fair?
Go for it.
But many years ago, Linda was the principal at the middle school there in
Yes.
Whitwell, and you realized that you were a small town of mostly white, very Christian people.
Yes.
And you saw that your kids were entering the great big world a little bit unprepared.
Right.
So you created a project that has had really international reach.
Well, we all created a project, okay? Everybody in the community worked toward this, and people outside the community. When we began to make people aware of what we wanted to do, we had people from all over the world who helped us. Excuse me. So we have a large artifacts library of Holocaust literature. We have the largest collection of Holocaust literature in the Southeast. We have an authentic German rail car, and that our original goal to make people aware of the Holocaust was to collect 6 million paper clips to honor those people who were murdered.
And the reason for the paper clips
was because the Norwegians wore paper clips during this Holocaust time to protest Nazi policies. Eventually, our kids learned that 11 million people were recorded as murdered by the Nazis. And so we set our goal to collect 11 million paper clips. We quit counting them at 30 million. We have an authentic rail car, which has the 11 million in it, and people oftentimes come and leave a paper clip in memory of someone in their family.
Did I hear, Jenny, that you were one of those students?
I was a very young student, and I was part of it when it first started collecting paper clips.
Did you have any, well, do you remember it being an eye-opener for you? Because as she said, you're a town of 1,500, much less 6 million people.
Yes, and I do remember I was very young, but it was the grade above me that was really part of getting it all started. But I remember collecting the paper clips, counting the paper clips in class. It was a big project, and we all would count them, bring in the letters, and open them up with paper clips full of them, and it was eye-opening.
So what's ironic, so okay, let me see if I can kind of bring this full circle a little bit. What's partly ironic here is that this was done as an effort to educate your young people on what the world is like, and tolerance and all of it. Now we sit these years later, and the school where this is still housed is on the terror watch list because it houses this very thing.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel that we need to educate people to the fact that I don't care who you are, I don't have to agree with you, but if I believe in God, I have to respect you and I have to love you. And I think that's something we've kind of forgotten in this day and age. You know, we're all yelling at each other, and we need to stop the yelling.
So what you're hoping to do is, so just like you said very quickly, that Whitwell as a community came together to create this.
Yes.
Whitwell as a community is also wanting to come together to give your veterans a place to go.
Oh yes, that's really important to us. They have no place to display their artifacts, they have no place for meetings, you know, and that's a very important thing.
In a town like Whitwell, I would think the library holds great significance. They always should hold great significance no matter where you are. Yours is in need of repair.
To say it's falling in is not an exaggeration, but we have the largest genealogy department in the whole state. People come from everywhere to study genealogy in our library.
Really, how did you get to have that big of a collection, do you know?
Well, just little by little. You know, you start with something small. As I tell, I tell everybody, nothing big happens all at once. You start with a little piece and you keep adding, and then you have something good, just like our Holocaust project.
Mm-hmm.
You start with a vision. If you have a vision, you can make it a reality.
So I know that, do you have a timeline in place? I know you have a fundraiser coming up, a big one in June.
Big one, yes.
What are you doing in June?
In June, we have a gospel concert with a group called B-Shock and then some local gospel people. And that will be on June the 29th. And tickets are $20. And, you know, if you go to whitwellcenter.org, it will tell you how you can get tickets.
Mm-hmm.
But we're looking, somebody my age is looking at least getting it done in 5 years. I'd like to be alive when it's finished.
Well, so I like to have a cap. Like, I like to know the goal is X.
The goal, the amount is $2 million.
$2 million. So here they sit talking to you about a fundraiser in June where the tickets are $20.
Right.
I love that because that makes it accessible for almost everybody, and it couldn't be something that the town of Whitwell does if the town of Whitwell can't come.
Yes.
Is that
and
right?
Children under 12 are free.
So that's great, Jenny.
Yes.
And I know you're going to sell out.
Oh, we hope so.
But you're still going to have a long way to go.
Yes.
So if people are watching and they're thinking, this is an American thing I want to get behind, can they go and donate online?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Please visit whitwellcenter.org, and we have a GoFundMe that is set up. We also have these brochures that we have passed out around town and anywhere that you can hopefully find that has QR codes that you can scan for the GoFundMe, and we also have Venmo and PayPal, and that can all be found on whitwellcenter.org.
The fact that it is not intended for your town's use only is really, I think, important to stress, because people are coming to you from all over the country to see this all over the world, and then they get there and you can't really showcase everything the way you'd like.
No, we can't. And it's important not only for our children, but for the whole world to realize that it doesn't matter how small you are, how poor you are, you can make an impact on the world. And you should. You know, we all need to step up to the plate. Don't step back and gripe, step up.
I heard something the other day that young people today were, in whatever this setting was, they were sent home, like a college class or a high school class, to ask something about their genealogy. And anyway, they came back, and very few of them, when they went to ask their parents, got any kind of answers. Our connection to the past is just getting more and more and more removed and unknown. So this is really important for the community to have that pride.
It is to us, yes. Because, you know, I can't remember the exact dates, but we had a horrible mining accident and lost 13 miners underground. And the guy who runs the Miners Museum is the main guy who did the rescue for this.
Wow.
So that killed our coal mining industry and basically killed any industry that we have.
Yes. So, are you excited for the event in June? Can it sell out, or can people maybe get tickets even at the last minute? Is it indoors or outdoors?
Well, we have outdoor plans, but we have indoor backup in case of the weather. But people can get tickets at the last minute, but we hope they won't wait.
Right, because you might miss the fun. And she is a cat herder, so she may come and find you. Am I leaving anything out, Jenny?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
We talked about everything.
No,
Will
Jenny.
you come back and give us updates?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know it's a drive-in from Whitwell, but we appreciate
Jenny's
you
a
coming.
wonderful driver.
Okay. Here's where you can go, whitwellcenter.org. I mean, this is going to incorporate everything, their library, the Miners Museum, a place for their veterans to meet, obviously the Holocaust Museum, and then give this great sense of pride, because it does seem like we've reached a point in this country where we feel like if you don't have deep pockets, you ought to apologize for it.
No, don't
And that should not be the case at all. Great talking to you.
Thank you.
The best shower remodel for the best price. Montgomery Showers is offering huge savings on our very popular shower systems with 0% interest for 18 months. Now is the perfect time